Good morning. It's Jane, and today is the 1st of August. Um, I know I had posted on the Facebook group about the issues with the internet here. Some of it was some issues that were going on with my computer. The other thing is it's Verizon Internet has been having issues, um, as well as a lot of other phones and uh, phone carriers and things because they are being hit by a massive DDoS attack. And that has been going on past couple of weeks for different areas. The New York grid, when it went down, some of that was a DDoS attack on the Con Edison. So, they're saying it's heat related. It is not really heat related. Um, so it's been interesting. Um, I only had one finished object for this week, and that is the Cognac Madeleine. I think that's how you pronounce it, Afghan. And this is done in Red Heart with love, I believe, Hollyberry. And this happens to be the fifth one of those Afghans that I have crocheted. A couple of years ago when I first got the pattern, I had crocheted one that was in white, put it in the fair. Crocheted one that was navy. Crocheted one, I want to say it was an off-white. A green, and then a tan one for the pastor. She wanted one for her bedroom. She wanted it because her bedroom has colors of tan, so I did one for her in tan. The first year when I had done this one in the white, I'd put it in the fair. It took a blue ribbon. The following year, I had gifted the pattern to an older lady who was a friend of mine, and she likes to enter items into the fair. She hasn't done that in the past couple of years. She's kind of dropped out of sight. I see her occasionally with family members, but she had done the same thing in white, and hers took the blue ribbon. So it just goes to show you. And what we found with our fair, it is the local county fair, Clinton County Fair. They don't always have judges who judge on skill levels. The judge on, stitch definition, just how the stitch came out, the way, whether you're too loose, tension, those kind of things. Our judges, normally they see something, they like it, and the color it is, they'll decide to give it whatever ribbon. So that is biggest fault I find with our local um, county fair is because they do not have folks who are judging who will give you an honest critique of your work. Um, we used to have a lot of Amish that competed, but they quit competing because they were not getting, I'm going to put it this way. A lot of the judges, when they would see that it was possibly one of the Amish type quilts, they would judge them low. There is a bit of bigotry against a lot of the Amish Mennonites in this area, which is kind of foolish because they're great people. Um, so it's kind of interesting, when you see that kind of stuff that goes on. And yeah, it's not because of white privilege. People think they're dirty and everything else. They just have a different way of life, different culture, and we need to respect one another for those kind of things. But they had quit entering things into the fair because of that issue. And so the numbers of things were very small. So you're seeing less and less of needlework in a lot of fairs, and that's kind of sad. This year, I didn't get anything made for the fair. Normally, I enter anywhere from 10 to 12 items. Um, I've never had an item that didn't get some kind of award, but I just find it interesting the way that they do it. Other places I have lived, when they come in and they do judges, there's no way for them to accidentally see the name of the person, but the way that they do here, it's folded up and but you pick it up and move it, and the name is shown. So we have made some suggestions to the fair board about how they can change up their categories for needlework, such as knitting and crochet. They could actually do a beginner, intermediate, advanced, so that folks feel like they're competing. Beginners could compete equally, because I see a lot of people who are beginners that enter things, and they don't receive any awards, and they really should receive some awards because they are very new at it and they ventured out. They shouldn't be placed against someone who is more advanced in their needlework. So I don't know whether they'll take that or not. I have suggested that they really need to change up the categories. They have some categories that have been there since probably in the 1930s that really should be done away with. They should add, instead of having crocheted toys, you should have a crocheted toy. You should have a crocheted amigurumi section, because things have changed in the crochet and knit world. So we need to see more diversity even there. But that's, my little rant about the Clinton County Fair. Sorry about moving the camera. But I had a lot of people asking me about this pattern. It is one that is done by Priscilla Hewitt, and I had given on the Facebook group, I believe I'd put out that her website was PriscillaHewitt.com. It is actually PriscillasCrochet.net. She does have quite a few patterns on there. She has a, sorry about that, I gotta shut the phone up. She has a couple of Afghans that have quite a bit of the skill that's in this. This, for anyone who thinks they can't do this, this is a very simple pattern. A lot of folks think that these are baubles. These are not. This is just a combination of using a half double crochet and a triple crochet. These are just front double crochet post. It's like I said, it is a simple pattern, but she does a lot of amazing patterns with just simple stitches. I mean, you don't have to know a lot of stitches to be able to do a lot of her patterns. So I would suggest that you go and do a Google search for Priscilla Hewitt, Hewitt, for her patterns. If you have iBooks or an iPad, her and her husband, I think it's her husband, maybe it's her son, they have put up some books on iBooks that are just tons of her patterns, hundreds, thousands of her patterns. I have just about all of her patterns that I know of, because I am a big fan. Some of them I will never work up. She has quite a few for needleworkers that make needle rolls, needle pouches, all kinds of things. Um, I have done a lot of her decorative items, home decor in the past, sold a lot of those, gave away a lot of those, and I have some of my own upstairs. I have some that I have created because she gave me the stimulus to create those items. And one of these days, I need to pull it out so you can see some of those past things. Those are some of the past patterns I have had that I've made up on my own, but I've just not put them out there yet. And I probably need to go back and look at them, revise them, and then put them out there for folks to do. Because it's a lot of fun. Wreaths. I used to do a thing where I had uh, where you could use the same styrofoam form for your wreath, but the only thing that you did is you changed the cover. They were covers that changed that you could put on for each month or each holiday, but you only had to have that one ring form. A lot of the reason I had that was because, I live in a small apartment. I can't have 12 wreaths. There's no place to store that kind of stuff. Yeah. But that's a little bit about Priscilla, and she was one of the first persons I know of that had a actual magazine that was online. It was Crochet Cottage, and I have all the issues that they had put out, and there's quite a few designers in there that are still big names, that we see a lot of patterns and things, and it was I enjoyed it. There were some issues that came up, and it kind of got put away, and Priscilla disappeared from um, practically dropped off the face of the earth for a couple of years, and then she got things straightened out, came back, and she is now doing some things. She has an Etsy shop. She also has the Ravelry shop, and I don't remember where else. There's another place that she has items. She, like I said, I just love her patterns. Always have. Um, let's see. The only other thing I have been working on is I am continuing to work on the knitted shawl. And this is the Oaklet lace shawl. Um, and it is by, let me see if I can find it. I think it's on here somewhere. It is by Megan Goodacre. And I believe that I got this pattern at TricksyKnitter.com. That's TRICKSY knitter.com. It came like in a booklet with some tips and tricks and those kind of things. And I believe at the time that I got it, it was a free pattern. Don't quote me. The only other thing I have been working on is that trying to use up all those tons of the camo yarn that I have to make an afghan. That is it. I have been out to the fair. I'm not sure what's going on with the camera. It's kind of jumping around. I've been out to the fair, and I'm not going to put that video up today. I will work on it tomorrow to get it up. But I thought I would give you a few options for free patterns today. And those will be listed down below. It'll be under the, where the little clicks says show more. you'll need to click on it, and those links will be down below. But I thought I would tell you about a couple of places to get some free patterns. And I have been kind of lax on that because I haven't done anything since I did the video about me leaving Ravelry and why. So I thought I need to get back into this, find those places. There are a lot of great patterns out there that are free, crochet and knit. And so one of those places is Knotions.com, and that's Knotions. They have both crochet and knit patterns that are free, and they are some absolutely stunning patterns. So, that's another free option. There is also abcknitting.com. They have both crochet and knit patterns, as well as, now this next one is more of a forum. It is knitparadise.com. But if you go into, I can't remember if it's listed as archive or workshops, but they had some workshops that were like crochet, knit-alongs, where someone taught you how to make a sweater. And tomorrow I will show you the sweater that I made in that workshop. It was a free workshop. I put everything down into a notebook, and what the woman designer that had done with this was teach you how to use your measurements to create your own sweaters. And it was a great workshop. I would recommend you going over there and looking for it. It is, and she had a lot of people that did crochet, although she was teaching knit. There are a lot of people that share patterns there, as well as websites and things like that for you to get patterns. It's knit, crochet, loom knit, and then they also have other crafts as well. So it's a nice little forum. I've enjoyed that for quite some time. I did notice my husband sent me to this place that talked about different websites. Knitting Paradise actually has more visits than Ravelry does, which I thought was kind of odd. And it said the amount of average time that a person is on Knitting Paradise is 30 to 45 minutes. The average time for someone to be on Ravelry is 7 minutes. So I found those statistics kind of interesting and a little on the bizarre side. So yeah, give those places a look-see. Then I have a couple of shout-outs. One of those is Hook Me Up Crochet, and that is Christy. Christy, she did a video the other day about the blankets, and I think it was, she listed it blankets throws that she has done. Oh my God, they're stunning. So absolutely beautiful items. So give Christy's, channel a shout out. I mean, look, see. The next gal is Katie Dopson, and that's Dopson. She only has a few videos. Some of them were years ago, but a couple of weeks ago, she did a video tutorial on how to crochet the drops in the water hat, and it's a beautiful hat. So she also has a blog which she has quite a few of her patterns up, and that is ICanNotEven.com, and the knot is spelled K-N-O-T. Of course, all those links will be down below. So I just thought that was rather interesting, to see that kind of thing. But and I've got a couple of patterns that I'm printing off so that I can do those for the hats. One of them is a Layla cable hat. Absolutely beautiful. So I can't wait to get that done. that is it for today's podcast because of all the issues that have been going on. I'm not so sure I can get it uploaded in a timely manner, but I'm going to shoot to get it uploaded today, Thursday. So just pray for me. And I only have one story for the What in Tarnation. You're going to find it rather interesting. Florida man dressed as Fred Flintstone gets pulled over for speeding. Now this is way back in April, but I just found the story. Fred Flintstone found himself a long way from bedrock back in November. The Hanna-Barbera character, who is actually a Florida man named Dan Swartz, with clearly way too much time on his hands, drove around the Wesley Chapel area in a smart car that was customized to look a lot like the iconic Flintmobile. It must have been a slow day in the neighborhood because Pasco County Sheriff's Office deputy decided to use the off-the-wall instance as an opportunity for a photo op, staging a scene where Swartz got pulled over and cited for speeding. I'm going to pause this here. And we're back. In a Facebook post, the Pasco Sheriff's Office joked that Mr. Flintstone became unruly and had to be detained. After further investigation, Mr. Flintstone was issued a notice to appear and released. Deputy then seized the vehicle, which is now part of the PCSO fleet. This is what intelligence-led policing looked like in the Stone Age, the post read. A very special thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Dawn and Trina Swartz for being such great sports. Yabba dabba doo. Even if this guy wasn't actually breaking any laws, you have to ask yourself what he was doing, all dressed up more than a week after Halloween. The costume was one thing, but the whole Flintmobile situation just takes it to a whole other level. This guy even went so far as to take the doors off and customize the seats. To be fair, the fact that it's a Florida story makes this way less surprising. These folks are on an entirely different wavelength. And there is the photo op that was taken. It's a cute little item. And there is the picture with the police officer in the vehicle. But I just found that to be a rather funny story. That is the only story that I have this week, just because I've been busy and doing all kinds of things. So I will see you again later on tomorrow, hopefully. I'm going to try to do some of the Vlogust. I can't guarantee every day, but I've always enjoyed doing Vlogust, and I'm going to shoot for it again. So everybody remember, choose kindness, and let's see if we can make someone else's day a little brighter today. Oh, I did have one more thing. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Well, it's going to be stubborn. Nope, not going to be able to get it here real quick. I will include that in tomorrow. See ya. Bye.